Oh, my hearties, a very, very good evening to you and a very, very warm welcome to Scottie McClue's live stream. It is, of course, 8 o'clock. Nothing gets past me, you see. Dinky Doos is the wonderful Betty McIver. First on tonight. Excellent, Betty. No problem at all. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you with us on our live stream for this Tuesday evening and live stream number 50, podcast 50. How amazing is that? Good evening, Lord McClue. Dinky Doo says the wonderful Archie, the Archie. Welcome to our 50th. Welcome, welcome. Dinky Doo, Dinky Doo. Great to have everyone with us tonight. Finlay Morris, Dinky Doo, Scottie, John Jones. Good evening, Scottie. Great, guys. We're getting there. The team is assembling. Fantastic. We should be ready, of course. Dinky Doo, Scottie. Happy 50th. Lee Fly. How amazing is that? J-Dog, Dinky Doo, Scottie. How are you? Evening, J-Dog. Everybody is arriving. Fabulous, fabulous. John Boy. Hello, all. Hello, John Boy. Best of behavior tonight now, John Boy. You know, we don't want to step out of line. Hi, Scottie, says Magnus. Dinky Doo, Magnus. Wonderful stuff. Let's get this shared, guys. Finlay Morris, so kind of you and so very, very thoughtful. I'm going to do the same. I have to lean over. I have so much light. I have so much light in my eye. You can never complain about having too much light. Good evening, Scottie, and hi all, says Joseph Aitken. Joe, lovely to have you with us. Fantastic stuff. What a great start to the evening. So much to discuss tonight. Now, I know we don't generally talk politics or news or stuff like that, but I was thinking with Boris's comments about the care homes, would it be better just all round for the Tory party and for everybody else if Boris was maybe just to not say anything for a while, just nice and quiet, just nod and smile? That's what I was thinking. Hello, Scottie. Congratulations on your 50th show. Well done, all. Let's have hundreds more. Kareem, what a lovely, lovely thing to say. And Dinky Doo. Tremendous stuff. Welcome. Good evening, Mr. McClue and Dinky Doo. Excellent. Congratulations on the 50th, says Betty. Betty, who would have thought when we popped up that night and a handful of us got together for a laugh that we would be doing podcast 50? Now, come on. What did you have for dinner? Oh, John Boy Linesman. It was beef burgers today. Proper Aberdeen Angus beef burgers. 2. Oh, dear, I've been like the side of a hoose, but very, very nice. Resign springs to mind, says Catherine Raven. Wonder why, Catherine. How very interesting. Yes, yes. Resign. Let me have another think. They were very, very strange. I mean, coming out with that stuff. And then I saw, the health secretary standing up and explaining, no, this is what he actually meant. For goodness sake. So there was, I just wondered, in fairness to Boris, would it be better just to mum's the word, as we say? And that sort of idea. Good evening, Scottie. Happy 50th. My bacon roll was allowed indoors this morning. Robert Scrimger. That's fantastic. Robert Scrimger. It's quite interesting. Do people call you Scrimger? There you are. It's Scrimger, really, isn't it? Josie Lappin, Dinky Doo. Good evening, all. Welcome, Josie. Lovely to have you with us. To coin a phrase from the famous movie Top Gun, Boris's ego is writing checks his government can't cash. I loved Top Gun. Do you remember they get called in? Yes, and he says to him, he said, Maverick, your ego's writing checks your body can't cash. Fantastic stuff. To coin a phrase, yes, absolutely. Top Gun. Haven't seen that for a while. If I remember right, the photography, the cinematography in that was just outstanding. The skies and all that sort of stuff. Very, very sad. When Goose died, when they went into a flat spin, didn't they, and crashed, and Goose copped it. Yes. Oh, no. I'm Iceman. Yeah, Maverick. That sort of stuff, Iceman. All the banter. I remember it. And of course, the wonderful instructor or instructress. So there we are. I don't know. Are you all right with this getting rid of S? Like, you shouldn't say actress. You say actor. I don't know about that. You see, it's very interesting because sometimes I think the feminist movement stab themselves in the back. If you're a feminist, don't you want to be more female? You see, do you get it? If I was the head of the malist movement, I would want to be all man. That sort of idea. Lifetime ban for Catherine for being unpatriotic, says John Boy. John Boy, we don't normally introduce politics, but interesting. Minced tattoos made by my fabulous sister-in-law Geraldine, says John Jones. Beautiful. You can't beat the minced tattoos, John. Guys, can we all move the chat aside and give me about 20 likes? 20 likes, because we've just been so sparing with the likes. Make sure to stream on Twitch. They have a dedicated topic called Just Chatting. Twitch is the all-round streaming platform. J-Dog, how amazing. I have a Twitch account, Scottie_McClue. And Just Chatting is the ones I've been on, but I haven't really got into all that yet. Dinky Scottie, the watery leaf. I mean, J-Dog, if you're into the internet the way Scottie McClue is, you could be on it from dawn till the next dawn, I used to listen to you on Scott FM and Nation Radio, says Josie. Fantastic. Hopefully we'll get back on the radio when all this settles down. Although I think the time for Scottie McClue on the radio is now. Now. Yes, and I think that the national broadcaster, the public service broadcaster, should have Scottie McClue on. I heard a public service phone in this morning, and I wasn't over impressed, to be honest, but there it goes. The radio misses a man of your caliber, says Josie Lappin. I thank you, Josie. Very much appreciated. Bob Jim Scrim, they call me, plus other naughty nicknames. Robert will maybe not go there with the naughty ones, Good evening, Scotties. It's Chris Wilmot. The wonderful Chris Wilmot has joined us tonight. Welcome, welcome, Chris. Lovely to have you with us. And Dinky Doo. Fantastic. Let's get sharing, guys. Top Gun is one of my absolute favorite films of all time. Is it not just beautiful? Tom Cruise. Yeah, they're all in there, fantastic. We love it. Right, now we must do some sharing. I'll tell you what's happened here. I've just popped up on the wonderful Facebook, so I'll just tell them that we're live right now. The next target will be the 100th. Think you do? Wow, Betty. Do you think we'll survive 100? Think we'll have podcast number 100? Ooh, this was just on during the lockdown for a quick bit of fun, but here we are at podcast 50. Scottie, I went into EK shopping centre today for a rain jacket. The place was dead. Nobody about. Kareem, well, it takes a wee while to get back. And of course, these pubs down south that have frightened everybody opened up for a few days, and coronavirus all over the place, having to shut again. Scottie, Boris is the First Minister of England and PM to the UK. He can't keep quiet. He's the boss. Yes, he's the head of the English administration, and he is Prime Minister of the UK as well. But in Scotland, the First Minister should definitely take precedence. You'll be pleased to know Maverick Top Gun 2 should be released by now, but put back maybe next month. John Jones, is that right? Wow, you're some man for the movies. We love it. This is better than the radio, says Josie Lappin. Do you know, Josie, it's funny you should say that. You and I must be septic. Because just after I'd said Scottie McClue should be in the radio, I realized that radio stations are very, very limited. And I said to somebody recently about a guy, and I said, he's got hundreds of thousands of followers. They went, nothing McClue in today. You can easily reach that with your streaming. So this will probably overtake the radio, and it would be madness for me to go back on a local radio station unless you're just being very local. I mean, those of you who remember me down in Manchester, we talked about the north of England all the time. When you remember me in Sheffield, we talked about Sheffield, Barnsley, Doncaster, all these things. Oh, if Ian Quinn's watching, I don't know if you saw my post. Somebody set the wire lady on fire the other night. Now, you told me on here, and I looked at it today, and I thought, I used to work on her in 1968. She was 30 years old. Why would somebody do that? Why would you do that to a beautiful old tourist attraction? Why do people do one on their own doorstep? So very, very strange. Sprotborough. Scotty's second wave of neo-feminists believe femininity is a construct created by men to keep women down. So any reference to it is demeaning in their view. Yeah, but Ian 429, that's them actually. If you're a feminist, why take away everything you stand for, i.e. femininity? Do you know what I mean? I mean, then you're not a feminist. You're just nothing, really. You know, you don't really have anything. You've lost all the power that women actually had. There we are. Got to pop off for Din. Scotty, lovely pepperoni pizza tonight. Au revoir. Au revoir, J-Dog. And bon appetit, mon ami, monsieur. Monsieur. But come and join us if you get back, J-Dog. It'd be lovely to have you back. There we are. Guys, we must tell them. Just bear with me a second. I must tell them that we're live now. Scottie McClue is live now. So there we are. Right, Scottie McClue is live now. That's fair enough. And I'll pop in where, although I think other platforms don't like telling you, that sort of idea. There we are. I'll just pop this in here. Right, and if you can all do the same, guys, bit of sharing. Take a second, only a second or two, to do a little bit of sharing. Tell everybody what's what. Yes, but I think you're absolutely right. I think we've got a chance. And the problem is that we've got in our head that the radio is more important than streaming on YouTube. Not at all. I realize now that this is actually the place to be. That, I am heading for the nadir in my wonderful career to date. There you go. And I didn't plan it. Other people planned it for me. Right. So what's been happening while we're sharing? Yes, Josie Lappin says this is better than radio. Are we agreed on that? The only thing is we need to get the phones sorted. I do have Skype. There we are. Evening, Tamba. Hope you're well, says Catherine Raven. Josie, troll. Right, so Josie Lappin's a troll, we think, Kareem. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that. Josie, are you a troll? Got some lovely trout to you, Scotty. Any serving recommendations? Also, lifetime ban for Ian for being a chauvinist, says John Boy. Ian, are you a chauvinist? Come on and fess up. No, I meant, do you fancy him as a leader? Josie says to Kareem. I'm almost sure you'll get your podcast 100, Scotty. You seem very enthused again. Well, Joseph, I think this is fantastic. I see it growing every night. You guys might not see it growing, and there will be one or two watching that go, it's kind of the same every night. Hello, my hearties. How are you all? La, la, la. And Josie and Johnny and Willie and all these people and Kareem and Catherine. But in actual fact, none of that is the case. It is growing and growing and growing all the time. So there we are. I see the stream growing. And if everybody tells 10 and tells 10, I mean, Dinky Doo, absolutely. Dinky Doo was never even in it. My good knows me. Right, now what I'm going to do, I'll just share this, so bear with me while this gets shared, right, and I'll just share that now. Share your story. Tell your story. Tell me the old story. Anybody remember these things? Joseph. Scotty, have you ever done the Cairngorm Mountain Railway? It was a fantastic funicular railway, and the views from the top were spectacular. Chris Wilmot, I have not done the Cairngorm Railway. I'll tell you what I have done, and I think this is a totally different thing. I've gone from Aviemore to the Boat of Garten on a steam railway. Is that the one you're talking about? I've gone on that one, and it was outstanding. Radio's too commercialised now. No having to tune your frequency depending whether you were in Glasgow or Edinburgh to Scott FM. I wish they did YouTube years ago. Yes, especially Robert Scrimger, especially because you can Bluetooth it in the car. And Kareem told me that, and Gordon Robertson told me that. Josie, Big Nick all the way for leader in our independent Scotland to come in 2021. Fantastic. There we are. I would have liked to see Alex Salmond asked back as president of Scotland. So you have a president and you have a first minister, and that's the idea, you've got the Queen at the top, then you've got president, and then you've got the first minister, that sort of idea. I think that would be quite a nice touch, really. Evening, Kareem, says Catherine. Evening, dinky-doo. Scotty boy, Scotty Beatrit, live in the Scott FM building with Scotty. Fantastic. See, we don't even need a big building for this. That's why I think it's huge, and it's international. Hi, Scotty, this is the wonderful Gordon Stirling. Gordon Stirling, where have you been hiding? You've been self-isolating, and we've missed you. And all the banter. So come on. Ian 429, I agree, Scotty. The view of current feminists makes no sense to me. It would appear to be about creating equality by destroying both genders. Well, if you destroy both genders, you don't have any equality. You have no place for feminists, and, it won't, you can't destroy gender because it's the way people are. That's like saying, let's wipe out human life so that humanity can survive. You see? So you can't destroy gender. So, they're daft as brushes. Hi, Catherine, how are you today? I keep getting soaked in the rain, says Kareem. Kareem, did you go and look at an oilskin then when you were in there? Did they have any? Josie Lappin says, hello, Gordon. Dinky do. Good evening to Kareem, Catherine, Glenn, and Ian. Love to you all, says the wonderful Chris Wilmot. Fantastic. Hello, Chris. Right, guys, we must get sharing. Come on, stop. There we are, we're sharing there. Fantastic. We don't mind that at all. And I'll do this. Haven't even started the big sharing yet, though, I have to say. So there we are. And I'll just put live now, okay? Yep. Live now. Live. Oh, this looks great. Because we haven't even scratched the surface. I was saying there was a guy had posted on Facebook. He's had to give up the radio after 28 years because they're losing jobs in the radio industry. There's another reason for being on here. The radio industry is shrinking rather than growing. So there we go. Hi, Scotty. Now, who have we got here? Hello, Gordon, Sir Joseph. Yes, Scotty. What is the Butler Johnson's first name? Says the Watery Leaf. Is it Boris? No, Watery Leaf. Heavens above, that would clash with the Prime Minister. No, Johnson. I don't know. I've always just known him as Johnson. I would need to ask HR department. See what I just did there? Personnel at McClue Towers, what Johnson's first name is, because I've always just called him Johnson. So there we are. So we'll find out what is what. Gordon, are you selling bus seats? LRT bus seats? What does that mean? Gordon, selling bus seats. Are you still selling bus seats these days? Is it going well, Gordon? A woman speaking to her, but I hate it when they say they want so many % of women on boards. The best people should be selected, not gender. Of course, a piece of nonsense. So say, for instance, you think we're down on women in the board. See if you can grab a couple of daft bints so that we've got our numbers made up. Yeah, but they don't have any board experience. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not administrators. They're not lawyers. They've never worked in the business. They're not accountants. It doesn't matter. Just put them on there. They're women. And we have to get more women on the board. Can you imagine that, you know? I'm good, thanks, Graham. Just stayed in today, watched some films. Hope you're well. Catherine Raven, absolutely. Scottie, I love coming on for the chat, says Finlay Morris. Finlay Morris, you are very, very welcome for the chat. This is what the chat is all about. It's all about you. And how often, Finlay, in life do you get told, Finlay, come on, it's not all about you. Well, it is. Newsflash. There we go. Check out the making of Maverick, and the YouTube effects are stunning. Wow, John Jones, you love your films. Hello, Josie, says the wonderful Gordon Stirling. Have you ever been on the Waverley, Scottie? John boy, I was brought up with the Waverley. My dear old friend ran Rankin and Blackmore's, who made the engines for the Waverley. Right? My goodness me. And when I was wee, you know, I would go on the Waverley went everywhere, you know what I mean? You just got the Waverley. If you missed one steamer, you could grab another one. So if you said, I was going to go on the Duchess of Hamilton, she's off to Cambridge, she stops at Dunoon though. Nah, she's away. Get the Waverley's going to Dunoon. There you are, you can catch up with her. She's going over to Rothsay. She'll drop you off at Dunoon. Fantastic stuff. And the Waverley, of course, used to be based at Craigendoran, and in 1968, I was working on the Gourock to Helensburgh ferry. Summer's evenings, fantastic. Scottie, my brother's got terrible sciatica and keeps bending over for relief. Any thoughts on this, or should I just stop walking with him? No, Craig Jones, support him. But he has to be careful he doesn't, damage the muscles and something like that, you know? Because I always remember somebody saying they were walking funny, and I said, why are you walking funny? And they went, sciatica. And I said, right. I said, what is that? And they said, well, I've got on size 7 shoes and sciatica an 8. See what I just did there. Not making light of your brother's condition, I assure you. Josie Lappin, radio channels are Mr. Trick with you, Scottie. You pull in huge numbers, you're so articulate, and you know your stuff. You have to, Josie, but I think the wee programmers, they're wee souls, really, and they can't wait to get rid of SCOTTIE McCLUE because they don't know how to handle it. It's talk radio. And people were going, talk radio. Talk doesn't work. A talk radio station has just become the #1 radio station in London. And for years, that went between the two groups. Was it going to be Capital or was it going to be Magic? Right? Which was going to make the biggest station? And suddenly the talk station just walks in and takes all the prizes, sweeps the board. Yes, absolutely. So talk done properly is massive. Finlay Morris, the Queen is outdated. Finlay Morris, the Queen can never be outdated. Have you never heard the phrase, the king is dead, long live the king? You see, because the Queen, her primary task is the curator and custodian of the crown. And the crown in this country, we have elected in Scotland and in England and in Ireland that the crown is our symbol of authority. Now, in Ireland, because in 1922 they opted for the Republic thing, the crown is now looked after by Great Britain, as far as I know. But Great Britain is not a country, it's a land mass. So, but the Queen can never, ever be outdated because whoever the monarch is, they are curating and being the custodian of the crown. So there you are. So there you go, Finlay. There's a wee bit of history for you. And remember, the crown is very, very Scottish. We run it. The monarchy is predominantly Scottish. That's why if we go for independence, there has to be zero argy-bargy. We can do without the Queen, all that rubbish. That's what gets the independent people a bad name. You see, so you've got to drop that. Scottie, Alex will be back in the SNP or the leader of his own party. Interesting times ahead. Kareem, I think you're absolutely right. I think there's a lot of stuff to come out in the wash. I wouldn't have a president serving under the crown. President summoned, too Republican. You once said, Scottie, Scotland will always be under the crown. Scotland has to be under the crown. And people don't understand this. When they say the people are sovereign, they're only sovereign to a parliamentary level. The sovereign is always the sovereign. Yes, the sovereign is always sovereign. There we are. I once put this on an independence website, and I was away for the weekend, and when I came back, they'd been trying to contact me because the wee girl that was left in charge running the website was going berserk because everybody was doing their nut about SCOTTIE McCLUE. And all I was doing was just giving them the facts. Not everybody likes the facts. I had to remove a thing this morning because a guy was saying, oh, I see you're doing right-wing propaganda. I'm very disappointed. So he obviously wanted left-wing propaganda. Do you see what I mean? I said, no, I'm apolitical. I've just put this up so that people can discuss it. You know, and if you don't see a comment from me, then that's there for discussion. My friend down south has been making some extra money during lockdown. He's been teaching his dog to play the trumpet in the London Underground. He went from barking to tooting in under an hour. We love it. Fantastic. Barking to tooting. Good evening to Scottie. How are you today? Crank. We are excellent. Crank Cuffin's joined us, guys. So there we are. Yes, no, Scotland needs to be under the crown. That needs to be the first acknowledgement, and then independence would just woo. You know, absolutely, because that's going to be used against the independence movement, I can tell you. Because William Pitt did it. He said, I will use the Orange Lodge. So we need to say to the Orange Lodge, listen, just to let you know that the Queen and the Crown and the Bible are all staying in Scotland with the new independence. So come and join us there, and you can be as orange or as green as you like. Okay? That sort of idea, and I think that's what we need to be looking at. I've never sold a bus seat in my life. I did think that might happen, Gordon. Yes, absolutely. No, Scottie, I haven't done the railway that you mentioned. The funicular railway in Aviemore was spectacular, going up the Cairngorms. Chris Wilmot, I've got you now. It actually goes up the Cairngorms. Guys, we need to share. We haven't shared a thing. There's not a child washed, a potty emptied, a dish done. This house is needing sorted out. Who is in charge? Right. Okay, guys, I'm getting on now to YouTube. There we are. I did a bit of sharing on the other sites because I went on Instagram yesterday and it just went woo. There we are. Scottie, as a school bairn, did you ever write your name on the back of the bus seats? No, I didn't. But we got a terrific row one day for pinging a bell. What do you think the driver thinks of that? But no, I didn't write in the bus seats. Although I think I did do one in the school desk and get belted for that. Because if you put your name, it's a kind of a bit of a giveaway, really, isn't it? What a relief. It's a giveaway, I say. Scottie, get watching The Shooter on Netflix. Brilliant, Scottie. Scottie boy, Scottie. Fantastic. Right, we'll see what's what. Can we get some sharing done, guys? Finlay Morris, where would we be without you? Is it Morris or Maurice? I always want to know that. Let's get sharing. Let's get sharing. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Right, everybody, share time all. Just take a minute. Calm down. Just calm down. Cool the beans.
This is a HelloFresh box with everything you need to turn.
Hold on.